Alright boys, welcome to the ISD training session. Today we're going to be running through two basic trainings. These are important these are important pieces of information and activities that we're going to be doing today, which will help you in performing better in the op and also having a better awareness in terms of when the operation Agero Avalon Roku Nia Roku Alright. So these are the so we're going to be running through two basic trainings. That is the basic infantry training and the basic combat training. Basic combat training is the smaller portion of the training. Basic infantry training is the slightly more advanced training. So we're going to first start off with the basic combat training. And for the guys who already know the information, that is fine. It's going to be a small little refresher course for you. For those who don't know, it's going to be fine. And for those who have used a few of these, there will be a few fill in the blank kind of moments where you'll be able to fill in a lot of information that you know here and there, but you don't know how to connect these two informations. That's where.
User joined your channel.
The basic combat training includes core mechanics and weapons, ACE and arsenal training, basic medical, communications and TFAR and radio etiquette, formation and movements, spacing, cover, concealment, backblast, navigation, tracking and calling enemy location, and basic engagement rules. So this is what we're going to be covering in the basic combat training. And when we get to the BIT, I'll give you an index when we get to that. So for now, let's all start with the ACE one because weapons one, we'll need you to get a weapon. So once we're done with ACE and arsenal training, we'll have you all pick out a weapon from where we can do core mechanics and weapon training. So first we'll do the ACE menu. So the ACE menu has two parts, okay? One is the self ACE menu. That means everything that pertains to yourself. That menu controls that part. And then there is the ACE interact, which is controlling your interaction with a particular object, person, or a vehicle, or some kind of an object. Aryam, can I shoot you in the face? Thank you. All right. So that is basically what we're going to be doing right now. First things first is the self ACE interact menu. To pull up the self ACE interaction menu, press Control and the Windows Start button. Hold these two buttons. You should see a radial dial appear. The radial dial is your proper menu. Each of these categories has a sub menu within this menu. Okay. So if for example, if you move, you will be allowed to move your mouse in this. Once you're in this menu, your screen gets locked. However, your mouse is free to move. All right. If you move your mouse around, that you'll be able to individually select each menu, each sub menu into which you'll be able to get into a particular aspect within that menu. So first things first, let's take a look at something called the medical. So on the top, there are two, okay? There are two towards the top where one is a medical menu and then there is a medical. So the medical menu is a proper GUI where it will open up a small little screen and it will give you a pictorial representation of your current status in terms of health. However, there is another one which is the medical, the one which says only medical. Over here, you can see that it divides your body into 6 parts: right leg, right arm, left arm, torso, and head. So in these, you get individual options to select, individual options to immediately heal yourselves. So I believe, can you just press I for a second? That is your inventory. I is the button to press inventory. Over there, I want you to check if you have some kind of a bandage inside your inventory. Just let me know.
No, I don't have, sorry.
Nobody has a bandage. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we won't do it right now. But that medical menu, it allows you to quickly, like that when you click on the medical, when you hover over the medical alone, not the medical menu, the medical, and where it divides your body into multiple limbs and parts. If the status, if it is showing any other color apart from white, that means there is a problem within that particular part. If your right leg is red, that means your right leg is bleeding. Or if it is yellow, that means your right leg is bleeding. It will give you a different status per individual part. Okay. So that is one. Now we'll come back to the medical part, but right now first I'll show you the ACE, different ACE perspectives. So then we've got the animations, which is generally we never use it, but it's a good idea to use it in case you can't use your in case you're in a close quarter scenario and the enemy is right next to you in the wall. You don't want to talk over there because people are able to hear you. and they can react to you speaking. So you can use actions. You can use certain gestures and things like that. For example, you can point and you can do warning. You can hold. All that kind of stuff is there within the gestures menu. The medical menu we covered. Medical we covered. Medical menu we covered. That opens up a GUI. Then one of the most important part in the self ACE interact menu is the equipment. So I want everybody to go into equipment. There you should see multiple things over here. This particular equipment part is dynamic. This will change depending on what you're carrying, what kind of stuff you're carrying. So for example, if you're carrying an entrenchment tool, it will give you the option to entrench. If you're carrying earplugs, it will give you the option to put your earplugs in. If you have a weapon, it'll give you the option to inspect your weapon, just like this. So there are multiple things that you can do with that equipment menu, but once you have the equipment is when you'll be able to do that. Then you have the radio. There is a separate way to open up the radio. Therefore, we generally never use this except for switching to speakers and all that stuff. So, does everybody have a radio? Can you tell me if you have a radio? If you press I.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you have a radio. So you go into your radios and you click on, hover over the ANPRC 152 that I generally believe will be the radio you will be carrying. This is the radio. If you remember the name, just remember PRC 152. That's the radio we always generally use in our missions. Reason being, it's highly versatile. It allows us to put 2 channels onto it, and it has multiple reasons as to why we use it. So it's probably the only radio we always generally use. Now, if you hover over it, it will give you option to put it to left only, right only, and speakers. So what this basically means that particular radio. So when you're carrying multiple radios there, and you need to somehow distinguish which radio is being spoken on, you can put that radio to left side. You can put that radio to your right ear, or you can put it on speakers where if I put it on speakers, everybody around me also will be able to hear it. Okay. So that is basically the use case of the ACE menu as far as the radio is concerned. Then we go into team management. This is also highly important in terms of joining a particular team within what do we call it? This is used to join a particular team within a squad, and to leave a squad and to join a squad. This is where you're going to be going. Actually, not to join a squad, to leave a squad and to join a particular team. This is where you're going to be going within the self ACE interact menu. Okay. So I want every one of you just to join Team Red. If everybody follows what I said, please join Team Red so I know everybody's following what I'm saying. Everybody join Team Red. Indiana, Geo, Avalon, and SK. Yeah, the guys who already know this stuff, they're the ones who are not doing it. So I believe that my point is getting across. I can't get Roku. Roku, can you join up on me because I can't really see you as in my squad.
Okay. Roku and Vedant, both of you
Yeah, just join up on my squad, please.
Launcher.
Vedant, join up on me. All right.
User joined your channel.
Okay, so everybody's just join up on red team, so I know everybody's following. Reeves, join up on me. You also haven't joined up. Okay, fantastic. So everybody go red team, so I know everybody's following what I'm saying. Okay. Reeves, okay, SK and Indiana. Okay, fine. So these two know how to do it. Anyway, can everybody come a little closer? So like I can see, come closer as in there is space between V and Kurosam. Can you close that gap? Close that gap a little bit. Yeah, okay. All right, fantastic. Okay, so everybody knows how to join a team. Now, I will tell you a little bit about teams, okay? So teams are specific groups within a squad. A squad is the biggest unit that we generally go to. Apart from platoon, the second comes in squad, okay? So you're generally always going to be part of a squad. Within a squad, you can be part of a team, okay? So teams can get different objective by the squad leader. If you're part of the red team, for example, right now, let's say, okay, Roko to Kurosam. The guys, please go to team blue. Roko, Vedant, Avalon, and Kurosam just go into team blue. Vedant and Avalon go team blue. Avalon go team blue. Avalon go team blue.
Avalon.
Okay. So for example, right now oh my God. Okay. So right now we've got within my squad, right? Within my squad, I've got 2 teams now. So I've got a blue team and I've got a red team. Okay. Both of you can be given different objectives. each team generally has a team leader. Okay, so like when I say, okay, blue team, Vedant is team leader, the Kuro-sam and Roko will now listen to Vedant when it comes to, because I'm giving him instructions and he's going to carry out that instruction. And for him to carry out that instruction, he needs the people in his team to listen to him. So each team generally always has a team leader who is going to be responsible for making what the squad leader has told him happen. Okay, so that is generally about teams. Any questions about teams so far? No, right? It's pretty simple, straightforward. No questions?
All set.
All right, great. Okay, so that is ace. Wait, hang on, let me just see. Okay, yeah, so rest of this we'll get to once we have the weapons and all that. So that is the self ace interact menu. That is one part of ace. Now is the ace interact menu. Indiana, can you spawn a vehicle behind me? Spawn a vehicle, a box, and something else, like a human, like a AI player next to me. So the ace interact menu, to bring up this menu, you just press the Windows start button. What will happen is that your GUI will disappear except for a small red circle that will appear. That red circle is your targeting circle. That means that anything that you're trying to interact with. So for example, if I'm trying to interact with a player, if I'm trying to interact with a vehicle, if I'm trying to interact with a door, if I'm trying to interact with anything apart from myself, that means I'm going to press only the start button. When I press the start button, it opens up this, it disappears my GUI and only gives me this red circle. Okay. Now you need to be in the radius of something in order to click it. Okay. So red team, follow me for a second. Red team, come with me. Blue team, stay behind them. Blue team, stay behind the red team. All right. So we have a vehicle here, okay? Now, one way to get into it is obviously to scroll and get in. However, that is a little bit counterintuitive. So, am I shouting already? No, I'm not shouting. Okay, now I'm shouting. All right. To get into the vehicle, what you can do, you come close to it, you press the start button, and you'll get interactions, and you can get into a particular seat within that. Everybody come and try it. Ace interact on this. You'll go into interactions and you can get into it. Red team, get into the vehicle. Don't get into the driver's seat. Get only into the passenger side. Don't get out from the driver's side. Reeves and V, I think. Who is in the V, get out. We get from the co-driver. Get into the passenger seat using the ace interact menu. Don't use the scroll wheel. Using the passenger seat, get into the don't use the scroll wheel, using the thing, just get into it.
Just don't get in passenger one.
Using the ace interact menu, not the scroll wheel. Okay. Red team is good. Now blue team, to do the same thing again. Blue team, ace interact menu only, don't get in using the scroll wheel. Into the passenger seat. Because you're able to select which seat you want to go in using the ace interact menu. You should go close. There will be interactions. There will be like a white dot which you can highlight, and you will get a sub menu. Roko is the only one struggling right now. Okay, everybody is in. So everybody understands how to use the ace interact menu when it comes to a vehicle. You can interact with it. You can remove wheels. You can do a lot of stuff when it comes to with ace interacting, because it gives you a lot more options. Okay. Now everybody double tap V to get out. Double tap V to get out of a vehicle. Okay, so generally to get out of a vehicle, you can press just V. V is get out. However, to eject from a vehicle, you have to double tap V. That means you will get removed even if the vehicle is moving. Yes, so that is double tapping V. All right. Now let's talk about ace interacting when it comes to a object. So this is, for example, this is an object. You can ace interact on it, you get the interactions, you can rename it, you can open it, you can load it. With this, you just get these many options. But generally, when it comes to certain other objects, you'll get a lot more options, and that is how it becomes useful on those use cases. Okay. Now let's come here. Let's come here. Dude, where is the AI? You're the AI. Okay. So come here. This guy is, this person is also an AI. So when you can interact with players, and also you can interact with, with AI using the ace interact menu. So everybody just press start. You'll get a lot more options on them. You can check his weapon temperature. You can tap his shoulder. You can put his mask on. You can also if the person is a civilian, you can restrain them. You can do a lot more things because it's a very important part of the because this is how you interact with another person. There is no other way you can interact with this guy apart from shooting him. The only way to non-violently interact with him is using the Ace Interact menu. Yeah, Ace Interact menu on him, okay? Now, I'm going to shoot him, okay? 1 second. No, 1 second. So, okay, he's now dead. He's dead, okay. However, oh, he's dead. Fuck. I wanted to not kill
You
him.
wanted him unconscious.
Incapacitated, yeah.
I'll just try. I'll be the volunteer.
Yeah, ready as
Okay.
अरे मैं volunteer हूँ मेरे को कर दे मेरे
Alright.
पिस्टल निकाल
No, wait.
Gio,
Move in front of.
अरे हट जाओ मेरे पीछे से यार
पीछे मत जाओ उसके. The bullet will go through him. Okay, so he's not dead right now. Okay, what I can do is I can drag him. So in case of a firefight, you can drag him out of the firefight and put him behind cover, or you can carry him. But remember, carrying him takes a lot of time. Okay, so in case you're in a combat scenario and you're fighting, okay, and this guy goes down next to you, and you have the time to pick him. If you have the time to carry him, drag him, you can drag him into cover. Right now, I'm dragging him to the cover behind this what do we call it? Behind this container. So right now he's in cover, and I can call a medic, and he can take care of him. Isko utha de yaar, Gio ko utha de. Okay, then there is another option of 1 second.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Then there is another option of carrying him. So all of this can be possible only via the Ace Interact menu, alright? You can
देखो मैं unconscious हो जाता हूँ फिर वो carry
Ruko. You can carry him, but however, remember that carrying him takes a lot, slightly longer amount of time, but it allows you to move a lot quicker. So if you have to move over a long distance and you're evacuating or something like that, then you use this particular mode of transporting him, because it takes a little bit time to get him up on your shoulder. However, you can move a lot quicker, and you can also, so another useful case of dragging a person is you can also put an unconscious person inside a vehicle. Okay, so once you have a person close enough to the vehicle, you can Ace Interact and put him into the vehicle. There comes an option like that. So for example, this guy is unconscious right now. First I'll show you the carrying part. Okay, so right now I'm carrying him, okay, and now I can load him inside the vehicle where he can later be treated. Wait, hang on, where is the, yeah.
Actually, it is if we are in a hurry, it's always better to load the injured.
Yeah, if you're
in
you don't want to hold your entire squad before what do we call it? Before heal him and get him up. You can put him inside the vehicle, and you can what do we call it? Like
you start your medical.
yeah, you can basically put him in. Now you can load the patient. Load the patient into this, and there we go. He has been loaded into this. So everybody come here, take a look at this. Come over here, take a look at this. He's right now an unconscious patient, otherwise would have been outside and would have required treatment outside the vehicle. But however, he's now inside the vehicle and can be treated while the vehicle is moving and everybody else is also moving. Okay. So that is the idea of the Ace Interact menu. So I showed you 3 categories. One is with vehicles, one is with items, and the third is with players and AI. Okay, so that is the Ace Interact menu. So just remember, Self Ace Interact menu and Interact menu. There are 2 ways you can use the Ace that I have already explained to you. Now let's get into let's all take basic loadouts. Gio, in सब पे वो basic loadout push कर सकता है जिसमें bandages वगैरह हैं ताकि medical.
रुक जा मैं कर
मेरे पास देखने दे मेरे पास है क्या बेसिक लोडआउट्स
एक बना के कॉपी करके पेस्ट कर दे सब पे.
ठीक है अभी मैं बना देता हूँ 2 मिनट लगेंगे मेरे को बनाने में
Okay.
मैंने बना रखा हूं कर देता हूं
तो फिर पेस्ट कर दे इन पे इन सबको. Everybody just go there first and then go. Just go to that shed first. Everybody just line up on the shed so they can all paste the loadout on you. Reeves,
कोई मेरे को loadout
are you
दे दिया,
alive?
Thank you.
Just go there, please. Just go there.
Give me the loadout.
Geo is fine. Kuro is fine. All right. So all the students are here now. Just go on the wall properly. Everybody's gone. Okay. Fine. Anyway, so in a few seconds you will all be given a loadout. Sun, SK weapons भी दे दे इनको ताकि एक साथ ही हो जाए. weapons bhi de de. Everybody will now get a loadout with a weapon and basic medical gear and the basic loadout that you will need to carry. I will break down the gear for you and things that you always kind of have to carry and make sure that you have them, or complain to whoever made the loadout that you don't have a particular item. I'll first break down the loadout to you, and I will then explain a little bit about Ace Medical, and then we'll get into other aspects of the training. In the meantime, you guys are getting your loadout. Let me get some water. My throat is drying out.
इंडियन आउट है इंडियन AFK प्लीज ये 6 KB का पैच अगली बार से नहीं होना चाहिए, आज के लिए तो नहीं कह रहा।
80 क्यों दे दिया भाई इसको?
80 किसको दिया?
80 दे दिया कीरा को।
हैं? ये मेरा लोड आउट नहीं है, ये जोहान कीरा को किसने दिया? ये इसका होगा, गियो का होगा। जा मैं दे देता।
I'm back.
Okay, just go back on the wall. Everybody now has a weapon, I think. Hopefully. All right. Okay, everybody has a weapon now. So next, what we're going to be talking about is your inventory. Okay. So to check your inventory, what you're going to do is press I. When you press I, you will get a big what do we call it? A big UI on the top left of the right side part of the UI. So there are two parts of the UI. One is the left side, and then there is the right side. Yeah. So on the right side where it says your name on the top, that part is your actual inventory, and the left side is the things that are there which are close by. So as you can see, on the top it says ground. So basically, if I put something on the ground in front of you, for example, give me a second. If I put a morphine injector in front of him, I'll put a bandage in front of him. I'll put a bandage in front of everybody. I want everybody to be able to interact with the ground, okay? So give me a second. Vedant, can you go back a little bit? Vedant, go back a little bit. Vedant isn't here. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll put a bandage in front of each of you, and like whatever I put in front of you. Now, when you press I, right, you're able to drag the item that is there on the ground into your inventory. Yeah?
Yes.
Everybody able to pick up the bandage?
Yep.
John, I think you're having an issue. Johan, actually. Yeah, you have your stuff. Everybody except for the AFK has already picked up the item. Now, yeah.
हमको एक रेडियो चैनल दे, हम दूर जा रहे हैं, इनकेस जरूरत पड़े तो आ जाएंगे। रेडियो
59. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so everybody is be able to pick up the item that I gave them. Now, vice versa, put the item back on the ground. Put that one bandage that I gave you down on the ground. Vice versa. Okay, Roko has put down his morphine, I can see. Karth has put down his bandage. Reeves has put down his bandage. And everybody has put down an item. So this is how you pick up and drop items, okay?
User disconnected.
This is how you pick up and drop items. Now I will tell you about the categories of things that can carry stuff. So on everybody there are 3 things that can carry items. So these are these are things which carry stuff, okay? So for example, your uniform. Yeah, go check. Okay, so basically each of you have 3 things which can. Yeah, go check, bhai. Okay, so there are 3 things which can carry stuff. One is your uniform. Your uniform has pockets and all that stuff. So within your uniform you can carry some items. Then comes, you can, on the right side, on the top right where your name is written, come down. There are 3 different what do we call it? Like 3 boxes, right? Do you see that, everybody? So you can individually click on each box. If you click on each box, you will see the category under it change. Do you see that changing?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically on the absolute left is your uniform. Okay. In the middle is your what do we call it? Your vest. Okay. So your vest also has pockets. Your carrier plate has plates and all that stuff. So you can carry things there. And then third, which can carry the most number of items, is your backpack. Okay. So these three things can carry items for you. Now you will have to put all the things that you need to carry for your into battle. You will need to carry them within these three things. Okay, it doesn't matter what you put where, it won't hurt where you put what, but you have to remember that each thing has a carrying capacity. Okay, so your uniform has the least amount of carrying capacity because it just has minimum pockets. Then comes your vest, which can carry quite a bit of stuff depending on what kind of vest it is. If it is a big vest, you can carry a lot more stuff. If it is a smaller vest, you can carry a lot less stuff. And then is your biggest carrier, that is your backpack. That thing allows you to carry the most amount of stuff, and all your heavy stuff should always be in there, because each item. So if 5-9 guys, you need to go a little bit more further. Go down towards the south of Stratus, or go to Camino or something. All right. So that is the basic idea, and each individual item that we'll get to right now, we'll go to the Ace. Arsenal right after this, because that is an important part of training. We'll go to that right now. So this is your basic inventory system. Okay. On the absolute bottom, there is a window where your map is available, your GPS is available, your radio is there, your compass is there, and your micro dagger is there. Do you see that? Do you see that,
User
guys?
joined your channel.
Yes.
Okay. I want everybody to put their map down on the ground. Everybody put your map down on the ground. Put your map on the ground. Okay, put your map and GPS down, actually. Put your map and GPS down on the ground. Map and GPS.
It's not
I
working.
don't have
I don't have
GPS.
GPS.
Okay, you have a map though, right?
Yeah, I can see it, but
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. You can drag it and put it on the ground, like how you put down the bandage earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not working. I don't know what happened.
Like, what is the issue? Like, everybody else just put down this stuff. Like, let me see. What's the issue actually?
Like it's not interacting when I click on it. Used to do, I think some.
You have to
words.
drag it.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm saying now, the menu is like kind of stuck. I can't interact with anything.
Okay, press escape. And now press I again. And now try it.
No, it's like the same issue. I can't interact with the pockets or anything now. So I don't know what happened.
You're able to see the map. Can you hover on the map? Like, does it say map? Enables viewing map? No?
No.
I think you've opened up the wrong menu or something.
No, it used to show me before when I put the bandage down. So now I don't know what happened. It's
You don't know where the map is. Is that the idea? Is that the issue?
no. I can see the map. I see it in the bottom left
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
But it's not allowing me to click. I mean, like I think the mouse pointer got somehow.
Okay. So how about you right click on it first?
No,
You can drop it even by right clicking on it.
No, I think the mouse pointer, right? It's like got recalibrated or something. The pointer is showing somewhere, and this thing. I think maybe it be a bug or something in the game.
Possible. Okay. So the idea, I'll just get the point across rather than.
But I got the map out now. You can see.
Okay. So what happens is, if you don't have a map, right? If you don't have a map and you press M, just press M. You don't have a map. What does it show you? What does it say? Press
Cannot
M.
connect to positioning system.
Yeah. Rocco?
Now,
Do you see
I
that?
can't see anything, right? I put the map out. Now I'm seeing black. Okay.
On the map, map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the idea. Basically, the bottom one is all your tool stuff, like the things that enable you to get like communications and your GPS stuff. All of that is on the bottom of that. Okay, that is the idea. So you need to have a map, you need to have a GPS, you need to have a radio to communicate with each other, and that radio is very important because that radio needs to be the ANPRC 152. Just remember that. And then you need to have a compass for viewing what direction you're facing and all that stuff. And then is the micro dagger programmer that generally you can reprogram a radio using that. Okay. All right. 1 second. Let me pick that up. Okay. Next, we're going to go on towards the top right. Top right is the stuff that you're wearing on your on your head, and then and one binocular on the top right. If you should be able to see, you're wearing a helmet. You're wearing something on your face. If you have a night vision, you should see a night vision on the top right, and then you should see a laser designator. Yeah. Or whatever binoculars you're carrying. That's where each of these items go. Okay? Got it?
Got
Yep.
Okay. Next, on the bottom is your weapon. Okay? Your weapon can have multiple attachments. So my weapon, for example, has a what do we call it? Has a scope. The scope can be removed and added using the same way how I showed you earlier, how to put on a bandage. Similarly, instead of putting it on the ground, you can put a particular item or an attachment into your backpack just by dragging it all the way from that particular window to the what do we call it? You get it, right? To the left side window. You can remove your everybody just remove your scopes for me and put them in your backpack. Remove your scopes and put it in the backpack. Perfect. V? Yeah, perfect. Alright, perfect. Vedant, I'm pretty sure he knows how to do it. So that's the idea. You can basically add and remove attachments depending even in the mission. If you need to put another attachment, you can pick it up from the ground and put it on your weapon. Okay, so that's the idea. Then is your launcher, which I'm pretty sure you don't have, and your secondary, same principle follows. SK, can you give them an arsenal over here? SK?
There.
Okay. Is this an arsenal? No. Okay. Alright. So guys, come here. Come over here. Ace interact on this and go into interactions and go into our Ace arsenal. Go into arsenal, just basically. Go into arsenal. Is everybody in the arsenal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it'll have your character move around. Okay, so it's not happening. Anyway, so on the left side, like absolute left, like not even on the weapons, on the absolute left, you should see the categories of things that you can put on your person. So there is the rifle, there is handgun, launcher, headgear. Every single item can be sub-categorized on the left side. All right. So your important stuff is obviously the rifles. There are a lot of rifles to choose from on the unlimited arsenal. On the right side, when you just pick a random rifle, anything that you would like, and just pick up anything. Now on the right side of that window on the right side, you should see categories of attachments that you can put on it. Sights, rail attachments, muzzle attachments, bipods, primary magazines, secondary magazines, things like that. Yeah, you see that?
User joined your channel.
Do you see all that?
Yep.
All right.
I see it.
Yeah. So each of these attachments can be placed on the rifle on your rifle. Okay. So there are a lot of attachments to choose from, obviously, but each attachment has its own function. So your sights obviously allow you to see a little bit magnified. It allows you to not use the iron sights because it's slightly harder to locate the enemies within that small sight. You can do a lot of things with these sights. Rail attachments allow you to ping and use lasers and torches on your weapon. Muzzle attachments allow you to add silencers, flash suppressors, all those kind of muzzle attachments. I'm pretty sure you know what muzzle attachments are. Then are your bipods. Your bipods are basically are underrail attachments which allow you to emplace your weapon onto stuff or allow you to grip the weapon in a better fashion, which helps with recoil and all that kind of stuff. Then is your primary magazine. You have a lot of magazines to choose from. All have different types, but generally what you want to kind of sit with is anything which is not a blank. You can probably use blanks are rounds which don't really send out a
User joined your
projectile but
channel.
make the sound. So that is the most ineffective kind of stuff. You don't want to use that. You want to use anything apart from blanks, and you can choose anything that and then there are categories like tracers and all, which I think we'll get into in BIT. So this is the basic idea. Then use a secondary magazine, which allows you to put if you're carrying a grenade launcher capable weapon, it allows you to put a grenade into that launcher. Then comes the handgun. Similarly, you can pick up a handgun and choose its rail attachments. Then come the launcher. You can choose a weapon, and then if it allows rail attachments, you can choose rail attachments. Then is your headgear. It allows you to choose what kind of headgear you're wearing. Generally, you never have to change this because you always have a uniform, and you want to stay as uniform as possible. Reason being that the only way you can PID your targets is by knowing what kind of uniform the other people are wearing. Then come your backpack. This is important. Reason being that it can carry a lot of stuff, and this is probably one of the most important part of why Ace Arsenal training is even done. Reason being that in your backpack, you have the option to carry a lot of stuff. So everybody just go into the backpack pane, all right? On the backpack pane, you already have a backpack selected, so don't change your backpack. However, on the right side, just take a look. You can basically just scroll and see the amount of stuff that you can carry. There are so many things you can carry. However, I will tell you the absolute essentials that always kind of have to be into your loadout. Okay, so first things first is your medical. You need to remember that you need to stay alive, and you cannot be a you cannot be a liability on the medical team, which is trying to keep you alive in case you go down. However, if you're alive and you're still bleeding, and you're like you've taken damage, what you need to do is make sure that you can take care of yourself. So first things most importantly you have to worry about is your medical stuff. So in a normal loadout, your medical loadout consists of 10 packing bandages. Okay, everybody pick up 10 packing bandages, 5 elastic bandages, and 5 quick clot bandages. Okay, you need to have these 20 bandages. 10 of them have to be the packing bandage. This packing bandage is like the fastest one you can put into your body, like the fastest one which can stop the bleeding. So packing bandage, make sure you have 10 of them because it's the most versatile kind of bandage. Sorry, is everybody following?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we are right now just getting into the basic loadout. Lucky you just came in. Just go into the arsenal and select your backpack. Select the backpack from the left side. Okay. So I'm breaking down a basic loadout that you need to always generally have in an operation. So you need to have 20 bandages. Okay. Out of that, the consistency should be 10 packing, 5 elastic, and 5 quick clot. These are the most important kind of things that you need to carry. All right. Next.
One correction. You should have more elastic bandages than.
It depends because our ace settings is.
Yeah, we use elastic more.
Okay, fine. So 10 elastic, 5 packing, and 5 quick clot. Okay, that's the general rule. That's generally you should always have this when you're going into a battle. Next is earplugs. Next is auto morphine injectors. You need to have 2 morphine auto injectors. Morphine is basically a drug which allows you to alleviate pain. When your character is in pain, he has been shot multiple times. Even if you stop the bleeding, your screen will be blurred and it will be pulsating almost. Reason being that your character is in pain and he cannot concentrate on shooting. So you need to have auto morphine. Morphine, everybody knows, is the drug which alleviates pain. So you need to have a bare minimum of 2 auto morphine injectors. And we'll get to the use case later on, but just remember that you need to have 2 of these and 2 epinephrine injectors. Okay. This is your basic medical. Oh wait, hang on. No. So you also need to have something called tourniquets. Okay. You need to have 2 tourniquets at the bare minimum. Just look up tourniquets. It should be at the absolute bottom. You can also search for stuff on the top where there is a magnifying glass. You can also type in stuff and search for it. You need to have a tourniquet, okay? It's TOUR, yeah.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but we have changed that to 4. So because like you have 4 limbs, so
no, that's fine. But I'm saying there is no way that all 4 are going to be bleeding and you don't have the time. That's the idea. I'm saying the bare minimum they need to carry. Okay. Yeah.
So if I actually open a backpack, right, on the left I can see a lot of backpack options.
Yeah,
So-
don't worry about that. You already have a backpack right now. You can choose a lot. You can choose. You can later on. You'll have the time. Like when you're on the server, you can go through all of this stuff. You can build your own loadouts. But right now, what you need to worry about is you already have a backpack. You don't have to choose anything.
The one is BSF petrol pack, is it? Is that
It's
up?
already. You already have it. You already have a backpack.
Acha, okay.
You don't have to worry about it. Go on the right side. All of this, what I'm talking about, is on the right side. This is the contents of your backpack. Okay. Now, you need to have a bare minimum of 2. However, recommended you can carry 4 tourniquets. Bare minimum. Yeah.
I can't increase the number of tourniquets in the right
That
side.
means your backpack is full. That means you need to empty out your backpack a little bit. But I'm just breaking it down for you so you can remember it. Like, just you don't actually have to have it right now. But I'm just giving you an idea of generally what you need to carry. So.
Okay, can the Zeus get my backpack fixed? Sorry, I seem to have selected something wrong and I see 0 items there. If that's relevant.
Where is your backpack? Which?
I selected
Yeah.
the BSF petrol pack or something.
Yeah, no problem. I'm spawning a different backpack for you.
Alright. So that concludes the bare requirements that you need to carry into battle when it comes about the medical part. Yeah.
Hello.
अच्छा नहीं तेरी आवाज़ थोड़ी कम आ रही है दो that you need to remember.
Hello.
तो
hello.
हाँ हाय.
Hello.
ऐसा कर हाँ आ रही है आवाज़ ब्रो. तो ऐसा कर टीम स्पीक में जा ठीक है. टीम स्पीक में जाके टूल्स में जा. टूल्स में जाने के बाद ऑप्शंस के बाद वहाँ पे जो वो है ना क्या नाम है कैप्चर में जाके अपना सेंसिटिविटी उसका बढ़ा दे.
हेलो सर.
हेलो.
बॉस कैसे आ रहा है अभी?
हाँ उसका जो नहीं उसका जो क्या बोलते हैं सेंसिटिविटी है ना उसको बढ़ा दे. एक सेकंड रुको मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ. रुको.
ठीक है.
उसको ऑटोमेटिक कर दे. वॉइस एक्टिविटी डिटेक्शन है ना उसको ऑटोमेटिक कर दो. हाँ अच्छा हाँ पुश टू टॉक अगर है तो फिर इट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग. बट आई एम प्रीटी श्योर कि यहाँ पे वो होता था कैप्चर. Flipback.
Try to play with like volume gate.
Hello.
Yeah. So when you open your TeamSpeak, right? Go to tools and then to option.
Yeah, volume gate में है हाँ mode
हाँ
volume
yeah.
gate किया है.
So try to like lower it down, and if you have any echo reduction or something like that, try to
Turn
cut
that off, yeah.
yeah.
No, it is off. Like
Okay.
turn
Even I was facing some issues before.
अच्छा fine. We'll take care of that a little bit later. Let's finish up with the ace का interaction वाला ना.
And like press Control plus Tab so that you're always on.
Yeah, oh yeah, control tab is, we'll get to that in communications and TFR. But yeah, so guys, where was I? So that concludes the stuff that you need to carry in your medical part, okay? Now, as I said earlier, there are 3 categories of items that can carry stuff. So your backpack isn't the only thing where you can load all of the stuff into. You can also load this stuff into your vest and also your uniform, okay? So into any of these 3, you can, if you've run out of space, you can load it into any of the 3 categories, into your vest or into your uniform. So you can select the uniform from the left side and put the same items that you're putting over here, depending on if the item, if you're full, you can add all these items over there. Okay. Next, what you should generally always carry is a set of earplugs. So if you look on the right side, there is an earplug. Just look for earplugs. You can search for earplugs. Carry that. You should always generally carry 1 earplug. What else should you carry? Also, you should carry cable ties, at least 2, but generally it's not that required, but there are some cases where you need to arrest people and stuff like that. But so you can carry 2 cable ties with you. to arrest people. As I said, with the Ace Interact menu, when somebody asks you to arrest somebody, you can go to them. With the Ace Interact menu, if you have cable ties, you can arrest them. Okay? You can restrain them basically, and then you can transport them left, right, whatever. Maglite, fine, yeah. You should always try to carry a maglite as well. If it's a night operation, reason being that it allows you to see in the night. It allows you to see your map in the night without having to go under a light in the game and trying to read the map. That should conclude the basic loadout system. Then your communication, I said, go to communications. You should always select the ANPRC 15218, the one with the yellow window in the middle. The 152, not the 154. The 152 is the one we use. So everybody select up that radio, because the next part we're going to get into is communications and TFAR. Okay?
Duveji, it is ANPRC 152, not
Yeah.
57, right?
No, 15218. Yeah, that's the one.
No, yeah, I can see I can see two options, right?
Okay, 152. That's all. 152. That should do. That should be fine.
उसमें भी दो है.
Just select the 152.
Okay.
Just select the 152. Depends on, that's a serial number that you don't need to worry about.
Okay.
The 152 is all you need. Okay, everybody have that radio? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So first, since you guys all have the medical stuff, first we'll go through the medical, and then we'll go through the communications.
So sorry to interrupt again.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt again.
No issue.
I don't think I have added the items from Arsenal into my backpack. I just added earplugs. I don't have any medical thing added yet.
Indiana, just add medical stuff to him. No? Okay. So, but you got the idea. You know how to get the medical stuff though, right, Karth, from the Arsenal?
Yes, with you.
Okay. All right. Cool. Everybody come here. All right. Just line up over there. Who is this? Vedant. No, Vedant. Kab pata hai. Kira is getting his stuff. So we shall just wait for him because.
Can I go do something else?
Yeah. Go.
When you start all the infantry stuff and the walking, and then please call me.
Okay. V, come here. I think we should be. You guys all have the medical stuff, no? Just check your inventory. Bandages, a splint, and automorphine injectors.
Yeah, you should be good, Karth.
Yes.
You have these three things basically?
Yep.
No problem.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate
I got splint. What else?
automorphine injector and bandages. Any kind of bandages would work. Not splint, sorry, tourniquets.
Yeah, all three. Thanks.
Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is now demonstrate you how to fix yourself. What I'm going to do is shoot you all in the leg, on the same leg.
Hold up. No, Civi spawned also.
Okay, Civi.
Yeah.
उससे क्या होगा? Bhai, I have to do it on them, na? They have to heal themselves. It's fine. I'll take care of it. Right. Now, V, okay, I'm going to shoot you in the leg. Each of you don't do anything until I tell you. So I'm going to shoot you in the leg. You're going to keep bleeding for a second. Wait, I think 2 shots should be... There. Alright. Now all of you are currently bleeding, okay? Given you can, without doing anything, you can understand that by the fact that your character is kind of grunting and making stupid sounds. Does everybody hear that? Yeah, so that means that your character is kind of hurting and there is something wrong with your body. That's your cue. First, you'll always kind of know that you got hit, but that's your second audio cue that you're kind of hurt, okay? So now let's everybody control Windows, that is the self-ace interact menu, and just hover over the medical.
I think I need a few more hits.
Okay.
Okay, no fine.
Alright. Now everybody is go into self-ace interact menu and press medical menu. Go into the medical menu. Do you see something different?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bleeding
So now there are two conditions on what you're going to be doing. Okay. One condition is, are you in a safe place? If you're in a safe place, what is the best ideal thing to do is to bandage yourself. Okay. However, if you're in a combat scenario, that means that you're still taking shots and you're not in the best cover, and there is still a possibility that you might get shot by the next bullet. What you have to do is kind of what do we call it? First, you have to tourniquet yourself. So that limb which is bleeding, click on the limb. Okay, then there should be an option on the top right where it says bandages and fractures. There it should have an option to tourniquet yourself. Everybody tourniquet that particular limb. We tourniquet that limb. All right, fantastic. Reeves, get up. Let me just check. Yeah, fantastic. Karth, let me check. Don't do anything. Don't do anything apart from the tourniquet. Yo, wait. 1 second. Why can't I see the interaction? There we go. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. And yeah, you're fine. So everybody has tourniqueted themselves. Now what this basically means is that you've cut off your supply of blood to that particular limb.
Okay, wait, just hold for a second. We have a late guy.
Oh, okay. Let him tourniquet himself.
Yep, that's one. Yeah, you're all.
He's tourniqueted? Okay.
Yep.
So what a tourniquet basically does is, since it's so quick to put, it helps you by saving time and also saving blood. Now the thing is, by saving blood, what you're doing is you're not going to pass out if you lose a lot of it. And you're also immediately combat effective because bandaging, you have to put multiple bandages into it because there can be multiple wounds on that particular part wherever is bleeding. And also in a scenario where you've got multiple wounds, that means your legs also have damage, your legs also have damage, your torso has damage, your head is also bleeding. In that case, you're losing blood very, very rapidly. That means you can't go part by part while trying to bandage each part. Why? Because if you bandage each part serially, what is going to happen, that rest of your body is going to keep bleeding, and that is going to cause loss of blood. And if you lose enough blood, what is going to happen is you're going to pass out because of your lack of blood pressure and lack of blood inside your body. What that is going to call is for a medic to have to leave his current duty, whatever he's trying to do, and come and focus on you. So you want to try and avoid that as much as possible. That's why we did the tourniquet first. Tourniquet is your biggest friend when it comes to while you're in active combat or you're losing blood rapidly. Okay? Now,
Hi, Dubai.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I have to go. Can I do this session?
Sure. Yeah, I'm streaming this, so you can go and view video later on. So.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you. All right. If anybody else has to leave, it's fine. We can you can read it. You can watch the video later. But if you're here, that'll be cool. Anyway, so as I was saying, dude, can these guys fuck off from here? Okay.
User disconnected from your channel.
So where was I? Yeah. So after you now that your blood loss is stopped, that doesn't mean that you're not losing blood. You're losing blood, but very, very slowly. So what you're going to do now is go into that same limb and bandage it up. Right now, let's assume that you're in cover, and right now you don't have a current threat, and that's the only one. So while that tourniquet is on, you can still bandage that particular limb. You want to bandage it until that limb turns blue on the, what do we call it? On the menu, on the medical menu. So if you press, okay, by the way, you can open up the menu, you can open up the medical menu by pressing just H. You don't actually have to do the fancy Ace Interact. You can just press H and it opens up that same menu. So if you press H and your limb has turned blue while the tourniquet is on, that means you can remove the tourniquet and you can use that tourniquet again later on if you get shot again. So if everybody's stopped, if everybody's leg has turned blue, just remove the tourniquet and let's keep it in our backpacks for later on use. If you're still bleeding, if your leg hasn't turned blue, that means you need to still bandage it. Everybody remove your tourniquet. Let me just see. You can remove your tourniquet now, Hira. Yeah, your tourniquet is out. Good. Good. Okay. Kira is AFK, I believe. I think.
No, he's
No. Okay. He just needs to remove the tourniquet. So now let's just try bandaging. So let's say okay, there was a guy and you took a few shots, but you also killed him, and that was the only threat at that point. So I'm going to shoot your other leg now, and this time instead of tourniqueting, we're going to directly bandage. Oh, 1 second.
Okay, one more thing I want to add over here is like, suppose you have like wound from one particular leg, right? Just like start bandaging to that leg. But if you have multiple limbs that are wounded, only then apply tourniquet.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you're bleeding from multiple ends, then you need to try applying. Okay, just directly bandage yourself after this. Okay, you can directly apply the bandage, but you need to apply it multiple times, I think, in order to make it blue. So right now you applied it once, and you're still bleeding, as you can see, Kira. You're still bleeding. You need to apply it again. You need to apply the bandage again. Reeves, are you fine? Oh, Reeves didn't even get hurt. Yeah, no. Alright, V, are you fine? Okay, so now your leg, did you even get hurt this time? V?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Alright. Okay, fantastic. He's still bleeding. Kira's still bleeding. One more bandage. So you see how bandaging takes a little bit longer compared to just tourniqueting and being active back in combat? You see the difference?
The way I also saw that the right leg in the examine menu, right?
Yeah.
Like it is not blue in color, it is just somewhat grey in color.
Yeah, that's because that's because I didn't shoot you all that much this time. If you know what I mean. It also depends.
It says lost a lot of blood, in pain, no injuries to this body.
Yeah, that's fine. That's because it must have been just a small flesh wound, so it sometimes says that. Unless you're heavily damaged, it won't like change color on that.
Getting a little blurry vision.
Yeah, so exactly. We're going to get to that part now. That is the next part of the medical stuff. So you learn how to stop the bleeding and to patch it up for good. Okay? Now remember that the tourniquet won't stop the bleeding for good. It will stop the bleeding for that time. Okay? It won't stop. So you have to bandage it either way. However, a tourniquet saves time in terms of you being directly combat effective by putting that tourniquet and also not dying due to blood loss. So that part is covered. Next is to curb your pain. So all of you are grunting right now because you're in pain. Okay, and I said earlier, a morphine injector, morphine is going to help you to curb that pain. Now everybody just ace interact. This time not going into the medical menu, go into the medical on top. Now, any of your limbs, you have the option to inject a morphine. Inject one morphine. Don't inject any more. Inject one morphine. Everybody inject one morphine. Karth and Kivi, you're the only ones remaining. Inject one morphine. Karth and V, perfect. Yeah. So now that you've injected a morphine, your pain should slowly subside. Okay? That means your blurry vision, that should start coming back into a normal vision of how it was earlier. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the idea. Now remember the dangers when it comes to morphine. If you put more than 2 in a period of less than 10 minutes, that means if you just patched yourself up, you go out 10 feet and then you start getting shot again, and then you bandage yourself up, and then you put another morphine into you. Remember that morphine isn't part of the whole process. Like, it is part of an exception of the process in case your character is still in pain after you've done your patching up. If you put more than 2 morphines in a span of 20 minutes, your blood pressure and your heart rate is going to rise rapidly and can cause tachycardia, which means extreme heart rate, and you can pass out because of that as well. Okay? So, as good as morphine is, it also comes with its dangers. Just cover epinephrine. Now I have to drink some water.
Yeah, one more thing about morphine is that, like, I don't recommend you guys to use any kind of drugs, but even if you're using the morphine or epi, make sure you tell it to your medics, okay? So that next time when they treat you,
वो ट्रायज में होगा ब्रो.
sorry?
ट्रायज कार्ड में होता है वो.
Oh yeah, I mean, then also like
Okay.
just make sure that you tell your medic like when they are treating you that you have already injected the morphine before, so that he doesn't use more morphine on you to and doesn't make you overdose on morphine. Okay. So the next thing, which is epinephrine, I think both like all of you guys have two each epi. So what it does is like when like you get shot a lot amount of times, you might get unconscious. Okay, when you lose a lot amount of blood, and you